Hello. So, a few people on Instagram have mentioned that maybe I should do some more YouTube book reviews. I've done one about 7 or 8 months ago, found it terrifying, and haven't done one since. But I figured I would give it a go again. I've read a lot of interesting books since then and met a lot of interesting people. So hopefully we can get something out of it, and it gives me the opportunity to ramble on about books for longer than I can in an Instagram caption. And hopefully it'll be an opportunity to share some great books that I've read and hopefully open up some discussion about books that we can then take part in. So, I'm going to start with a book that was sent to me by the author. So, Stephen Bereznai, I think that's how you say his name. Not sure if it is, Stephen. If I'm pronouncing your surname wrong, do get in touch and let me know. Has written this book, which is called I Want Superpowers. So I'll read the blurb, see what you think, and then we will chat about it. So the genetic wars that turned most of the planet into a wasteland are over. The so-called DNA regulars, dregs, and superpowered supergenics now live separately from each other. The supergenics in the shiny towers of Jupiter City, the dregs across the river, in the squat concrete buildings of the boroughs. But supergenic children are still born to dreg parents, and under oppressive laws must be sent to live with their own kind. To find these special few, every teen faces their testing day. When her turn comes, socially isolated Caitlin Farrell is determined to manifest powers. If she fails, she faces a lifetime of loneliness and drudgery in the boroughs. But how much is she willing to sacrifice to be the super girl she's always wanted to be? And when she uncovers dark secrets kept by both sides, does she dare start another war to reveal the truth? It's a strong blurb, I can say that much. And yeah, it's dystopian fiction, which obviously has been a huge thing in recent years with the Hunger Games, the Divergent trilogy, the Red Rising books. So it's kind of comes off the back of those. But thankfully, it is very, very different. Takes a lot of inspiration from the X-Men series as well. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be aware that I am a huge X-Men devotee. Behind me back there are a shelf straining with X-Men Funko Pops, and if you can see it, yeah, I have the X-Men logo tattooed on my chest. So I'm pretty obsessed. So obviously a book like this is something that was going to appeal hugely to me. But I think the reason why it's a special book is that the author really turns things on its head. This isn't a book where you kind of can guess where things are going to go. If you can guess where they're going to go, then you can be guaranteed that they will go into a completely different direction. And a big part of that is the main character. Caitlin in this is a compelling, layered, flawed heroine. She makes good decisions. She makes very bad decisions. You always kind of know why she makes the decisions, even if you don't like why she's doing them. She's relatable, and she's very real, and she meets some very attractive men who she kind of falls madly in lust with, and yeah, I get that. We've all been there. And it's kind of nice to read, you know. I find a lot of the time in some of these young adult books, the lead characters tend to be quite neutered. And she is a girl who is in charge of her own agenda, who is in charge of her own sexuality, and fights for what she believes in, which I think is important. She also grows as a character over the course of a book, which I think in something like this is quite important, especially when it's written and appeals to a younger generation. Now, whilst I'm saying that this is a young adult novel, I am certainly not saying that it is just for young adults. It is for adults of any age. I mean, I am swiftly approaching 30. I was a huge fan of this, and I feel people older and younger than me will also enjoy it a lot. Other characters make an impact too. There's a character called Normand who Caitlin encounters fairly early on and has quite a lot of adventures with. You're never quite sure what to make with him, and that's for good reason. Stephen, the author, has a fair few tricks up his sleeve, and Normand is one of those characters who he uses to brilliant fashion, really. He's fantastic to read, and his journey is remarkable, really. And he's a very exciting character. And his journey is one which the reader will be on kind of every step of the way, I think. We all know someone like him, and I think we've all felt like him at times in our lives as well. So he really appealed to me. So, it's an open-ended book. The way it ends really seems to imply that there will be a sequel, which I hope for. I feel like this would work really well as a trilogy or the start of a series, and I hope Stephen is going to write another one, if I'm perfectly honest. It's a book that's going to appeal to a lot of people, I think. We've all kind of grown up with that feeling of wanting to be something more than we are, and wanting to make something of our lives, and, have superpowers, fly, be telepathic, be telekinetic, whatever. We've all laid in bed and wanted to turn the alarm off but can't be bothered to roll over and touch it. Well, if you had powers like these, maybe you'd be able to. But part of, I think, what Stephen's trying to get across in this is that you don't need powers to make something of your life, or to take charge of a situation, or to take control of your own agenda. And I think that's a really important message to be spreading. So for that reason alone, it's a book I recommend. But also the fact that it's fantastically written and has great characters make it something that is definitely worth a read. So that's about it. I did quite a lot of babbling. I need to learn how to edit these videos. But yeah, I Want Superpowers by Stephen Bereznai. Go and buy it. You'll really enjoy it. Check him out. He's available at stephenbereznai.com. I'll spell it for you because you will not be able to guess that from my pronunciation. It's STEVENBEREZNAI.com. Check him out there. He's written some other books as well, which I heartily recommend. He's also a really nice guy. Check him out on Instagram. I will link to his account as well, because not only is he very talented, he's very easy on the eye too. Thanks for watching. Maybe I will upload some more of these. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Bye-bye.